All right, we are now recording. Um, the first topic being on the licensing and going to a permissive license. It sounds like um, Nathaniel, you understand the logistical hurdles around going through contributors and making sure people are okay with the change. We would have to have like a clear delineation of a full set of code that is licensed under the new license. And I was just giving the history. The reason it's GPL was because at the time Intel had McAfee, and there was, they were holding open the possibility of building something into a product, and um, were afraid of enabling a competitor. Um, I'm not sure that any of those issues probably remain, but that's something that Intel folks would have to figure out. Um, and then as we look at the logistics of doing it, we would have to think through how we get everybody's consent and how we actually make a new delineation. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So where did the request come from? I'm curious. Like where do we what are people wanting to do?
So there's a team inside Intel that's looking to bundle it in their product, but their product is not GPL licensed. So they were
Right. And
asking,
and if it's used as a separate tool, just like say an application that you would bundle with, on Linux or something, then actually it probably doesn't matter. You might have to add to your distribution something that says, includes CHIPSEC licensed under the GPL. Here's the thing. Um, but as long as it itself is its own thing, unmodified, just a big blob, um, then I think you can distribute it. I'm not a lawyer, but my understanding is that you can distribute that um, without propagating it, as long as you're calling it and then you're getting its results. Does that make sense?
yeah, I'll
Now, are
need
they
to,
thinking they want to build it in like fully into their code and like link against it and stuff? Because that
that I
would
don't know the answer to. That
propagate.
might be the problem, but I'd
Yeah,
have to
that
investigate some of
that
the
that would
rest.
be okay. It would be a lot of work. I don't know how everyone would feel about it, but I suspect that would probably there are simpler solutions for folks like that.
Yeah.
But
Right. But so,
I wouldn't say I'm opposed to it.
okay.
I don't know. Would anybody here object to it if somebody wanted to lead that effort? Okay. Sorry, somebody was going to say something. Was that Aaron?
I don't believe so. I was muted. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I think it was me, but I was going to ask the question that you literally just answered. So you
Okay.
read my
So
mind.
there's no. I'll write down. Tell me if you dislike the way I'm wording this. You okay with that wording, Nathaniel?
Yeah, it looks good.
All right. Good on licensing. Should we move on to the latest release? Is
Sure.
that you, Aaron?
Well, actually, did you want to cover the Nathaniel? Did you want to cover the release, and I can get the Python changes?
Sure.
If that makes sense. All right. Cool.
And they're kind of Python changes, kind of a sub bullet under the latest release, but
Okay.
so the latest release, so since our last community meeting, we moved to the 3.12 minor release. Some of the changes in that is we're updating how configurations are loaded to align with what the Brent and team has done in the experimental repo.
Cool.
So we're trying to upstream some of those changes into the main branch finally.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're able to have custom parsers and custom XML if you want to, more easily integratable without touching the core parsing the CHIPSEC is currently doing.
I was totally just looking at the code yesterday. Some random Python question came up, and I think I noticed this. It's like, that's not how it used to work.
Right? I mean, it's how it used to work in like loading modules and stuff. It just wasn't how it worked in loading configurations. So we're trying to standardize that a little bit more.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think it was 112. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yes, 112, not 312.
Oh, sorry.
We're not on Python or CHIPSEC 3 yet. I may have misspoke. So.
Soon.
Yeah, that's the Python changes 3.12, not the CHIPSEC update.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Is this 1.12.1 actually?
So right, so we do a release every month, and it's been 3 months since we had the community meeting. So we've released 1.11, 1, 1.12, 0, and 1.12.1. So we're current release was 1.12.1. Yeah.
Got it. 112 did that. So you like the way I wrote this, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Some of the next coming up things to look at are how we're doing configurations. We're still brainstorming and trying to work out what that'll look like in the future. But
when you say how we're doing configurations, you're talking about how to create them for new
how to create them and how they're structured. Yeah. Currently, for the Intel side, we are hand creating them still, and it's very time consuming and error prone. So trying to find a better way to do that.
Yeah.
I think those are
the notorious problem. Been there forever.
Indeed. And we're not the only team that struggles with this, so it's an ongoing issue.
I hear you.
Yeah, I think those are the most of the highlights. They're talking about the latest release. That's the big change that we've done in the last few releases. You know, obviously we've had patch releases and fixes here and there, but those are fairly minor. You're welcome to look at the release notes to investigate further. If there's any questions on the latest releases, though, anybody's welcome to ask or comment.
Yep, and we can do that on Discord. We can do that on the discussion groups on GitHub. Yep. Got channels. And does anybody who's on the line here have any questions about the release? Maybe that's a good thing to bring up, or any of the recent releases. All right. You want to talk about Python then?
All right. So we've been basically because of, or primarily because of the EFI shell interpreter, are basically a POR for Python on CHIPSEC is 3.6. Code wise and whatnot. Well, with the release of Python 3.12, actually the RC was a month ago or something like that, and basically that solidified what 3.12 will look like, and that is deprecating the disk util module. There are comparable solutions and capabilities in other modules which we've moved to, but one of those in particular is in setup tools command. It's a setup tools command build routine. The problem kind of comes in though, where that wasn't added into setup tools up until I think 3200 package, which per their site was the PyPy site, requires 3.7 Python. So it kind of moves some things around a little bit. So we're on the shell side, since we don't run setup, right, it shouldn't be a problem. But within Windows or Linux, for instance, if you're running the setup, then you should be using 3.7 or newer there. Obviously 3.12 hasn't released yet. I believe that's in October sometime as a final release. But when that does happen, if anyone is using it, they will not have the disk utils available.
And so what do they need to do?
Just to make sure they use a Python 3.7 or newer.
Well, what if they're using what if 3.12 comes out and they use 3.12?
And they're using that should be fine. It's just
I see. So you've already made the change.
Yes,
inside.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're probably seeing it now. Matter of fact, I think someone's pinging us about it, and they're already seeing it. And I was like, nope, sorry. We're kind of following Python and this choreographed dance between setup tools and Python, right? So we're trying to sit in the middle of those two and try to make sure we're still supporting all the things and not break the things.
So what it means is the Python dependency for CHIPSEC is going to move from 3.6 to 3.7 or new
in the OS.
In the OS, yeah. Where the shell
OS
will still be 3.6, yeah, at least in the near future. Yeah.
All right. Does this sound about right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and bold.
Yeah.
This. That's the real takeaway, I think, for most people.
Yeah, the subtools doesn't their release notes are a little wonky. You kind of have to go through their pull requests and some things to kind of figure out what's going on. But that's So is it 6200 is the package where they supposedly added it. I believe that there were some fixes and some changes or updates after, but that's seems when they added support for the last thing that we needed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what version of setup tools is automatically installed with each version, but I know some of the earlier versions, like 3.7, if you're running 3.7, you have to do a pip install -- update setup tools in order to update to the latest version.
Okay, so what's the version of
62.00.
62.00 or like that?
Yeah.
At the absolute minimum, yeah.
And is setup tools like this, or is it like Python dash setup tools? What's the right way to name
If you're
this?
using pip, setup tools is correct. If you're using APT, then it's Python 3 - setup tools. But
And you would do dash upgrade here.
Yep.
So if I'm giving people a subtle hint with that command, is that correct?
Yep.
And then otherwise, what was it outside of pip?
Now, if you're using your distro's packet manager, it would be like apt install Python 3 dash setup tools, I think, for Ubuntu or Debian based.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that probably makes sense.
I haven't tested the package based one though, so I'm
All right, maybe
can't
I'll
speak
take that one out
specifically.
just in case. It's
Yeah.
probably right, and I was thinking through that in my head. It depends on what version the distro's on, and
Right,
in all
exactly,
likelihood,
yeah.
probably the latest, so or -1 or something like that. So it's probably fine. But never mind. We can just leave it with the pip install like that,
Yeah.
and we have the
Because, yeah, if you're
versions in there. Is this in the release notes too, by the way?
Kind of. It's not spelt out as verbosely as it probably should be. I think we have plans to integrate it also into the manual, right, Aaron?
because
Which,
right now we kind of have a POR for the code contribution, but not specifically for general POR support.
Which release does this apply to? Which was the one that made the change?
Oh gosh, was it 112 or 112.1? Yeah.
I'll need to look back. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Oh,
off
it
the
looks
top of my
like
head.
112.1 says move from disutil for Python
be it.
3.12.
112.1
Okay,
then.
so it's 112.1. I just pulled up ye old release notes. Maybe I did that right. Who knows? Cool.
Nice. Although I'd probably make one change to say greater than 6200. I think that's the minimum, but I think for just to make sure they get all the fixes and yeah, I think that's probably better. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Was that it as far as the Python change?
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of because I think we really haven't had this problem up until now. I mean, we've been actually pretty lucky in most aspects, even though the
I know,
3.6
right?
is
Like, there's actually
technically
a lot of
EOL.
stuff.
Yeah.
I've had other projects have hilarious. Oh man, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
So
So,
cool. So I think those were the two that we talked about at the beginning. Any other topics we want to maybe talk about? Interesting stuff going on in the world that CHIPSEC lives in? Gripes from Mickey, maybe?
I'm trying to be a better man.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Have
I thought you
you
were at least going to complain about me being late.
Oh no. Some things you just get used to.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Mickey, last time we talked, I think it was 6 months ago, maybe, because I think I missed the last community meeting. You were talking about being able to use CHIPSEC without the driver loading. Have you been able to test that at all? Is it working for you? Thoughts on that?
The last 6 months, I think I have, but I don't know which version exactly I was using. So yes and
Was it
no on
working for
that.
you?
I'm sorry, it never did.
Oh
But
no.
I need to keep poking at it.
Okay. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, because a lot of it's a very, I know it's a delicate dance to get things working without the driver. But the easiest test to do is to run the decode. Get
Yeah.
that into the integration to test the decode without the driver. Should be
Yeah,
be
that
able
should
to.
at least work.
Yeah, the CI should allow you to do that.
Actually, I thought
Yeah.
we did have CI for that. Do we not?
Might not actually.
Huh.
At this point.
Okay.
We should add that though.
Because remember how we had that repository of images that it's not public, but I shared it with you guys.
Yes. Yeah,
thought
I
that
don't
that's
think we're actually
exactly what we were
utilizing it
doing
yet.
with it. Oh,
Yes, it's just
never
not
mind.
utilized yet.
All good. How are we doing? Are we using GitHub Actions now, or because we used to have
Yes.
a different? Okay.
Yeah, we're solely on GitHub Actions now.
Nice. Need to find that. I need to read up myself and figure out how that's supposed to work. But that should be a pretty easy change to add.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if the automation will have
Access to the repo.
to
Yeah,
the
but
repo?
there's ways around it. We actually have some
Oh,
other
okay.
repos doing a similar thing to access private repos, so we can.
I was going to say, like, another way to do it is to actually build the automation on the other repo and then pull from CHIPSEC.
True. Well, private repos don't have GitHub Actions licenses, so we actually can't do that.
Ooh.
They only allow GitHub Actions on public ones, unless you buy licensing.
Gotcha.
Which I'm not aware of a CHIPSEC fund at this time though, so probably out of the question.
Okay.
I'm sure maybe the open source community or organization at Intel would have a license that you can share.
It might be logistically challenging since the project is not under like OTC share or whatever they
Yeah,
usually call it. Yeah.
there's a
There's
way
probably
to.
a way somebody could solve this, but it might be interesting to make it happen.
Yeah, we can do something with the. I know how to
Anyway,
how
if
to
you know the
pull GitHub
solution,
tokens. So yeah, we have.
yeah,
a
if you know
solution.
how to do it with tokens or something, then it's fine.
Yep.
Do you need any help with that stuff, or do you
I
know
mean,
what to
help
do?
is always welcome, but I know what to do, so it's just the matter of bandwidth.
Fair enough. Enough. Can you point me at wherever the GitHub Actions stuff lives?
It's in the
Yeah.
actual repo under tests, I think, .test. Let me pull it up. .github/workflow.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, and then it's the tests YAML. That's what I remember. Thank you.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like, where is this? Cool. I'm just gonna add the almost like a to-do. We should add testing of still -n, right?
Yes.
Cool. Who else has topics, comments, questions? Hilarious observations about hardware and firmware that you would like to share?
How's the AMD support going?
Do we have anybody here who's worked on that?
So Gabriel has been, but he hasn't contributed much of late. So it looks like it's kind of stalled out for now.
Yeah. Might be good to check in with him and just see how he's doing. And if the community can, like, if he wants, I don't know, there's some help or something that we can get him. Do you have his contact info?
We do, yes. And there was an issue raised fairly recently within the last 6 months around it, and he responded. So he's still around
Oh,
and
he's still
active.
around. Okay, cool.
He's just not actively working on it from the look of it.
All right. Do you mind sharing his contact, like email or whatever? Or I guess I can maybe ping him on. Is
I
he active
believe
on
it's
Discord as well?
It's on the front page of the.
it's on the front page.
CHIPSEC.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
That's funny.
go down to the bottom.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'll just check in with him, see how he's doing.
And I don't think he's actually on Discord. At least I haven't seen him.
Yeah, that's okay. Email's good enough.
Yeah.
There it is. And I'm just figuring, maybe if he's stuck on stuff, if he wants other people to look at something, just see where he's at.
We also have gotten requests for ARM support. I'm not sure how much bandwidth we have to do that, but there's
Yeah.
an official request has at least been put out there. So that's step one.
Where's
Right?
that? Is that on the issues or something else?
No, it's internal.
Oh, okay.
Internal
Alright.
request.
It would be good to like document that in the GitHub issues so that other people see that you don't have to say anything about who it is or what they're doing or why, but like,
Yeah,
just to keep track.
that's
If we
true.
create like an ARM support issue and just like even keep track of how many people are complaining about it.
Yeah.
Or I guess I should say architecture probably. Well, AMD. I don't know. Let me know if you will have a better wording of what I'm putting together here.
Sounds good to me.
So did everybody see, what was it, International Firmware Developers Day recently?
No.
That's
I
neat that
saw
there's a
this on
day.
Twitter.
Totally missed it. Sorry.
I think I saw this on Twitter and I had fun and tagged Vincent because
Oh, I did see your tag.
yeah. So, I will extend my best wishes for your over the top celebration of firmware development to all of you. I'm certain that you have a great party over there.
Is this the same as Programmer Day?
That's what came
September
up when I
13th?
Googled it just now. I wonder if that is where it came from. Maybe. I think we should definitely run with a specific firmware developers. Anyway. Is that it? Everybody, any other topics anybody wants to talk through?
I guess the other thing that I brought up earlier before you joined, John, is do we want to move this meeting to Discord?
Oh, we could do that.
We could set up an event,
I hadn't
and
even thought about that. You're right.
that could be an option to get away from more.
There's all
Microsoft
the little
or Zoom.
gotchas that, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's a great idea. Do we have a way of like scheduling on Discord?
Yeah, there's an events thing on Discord. Create an event.
Do you want to maybe do that? And once I see that it exists, I can
Sure.
drop this thing. I mean, I actually, I have no problem with this. I think this sounds like a great idea because it might solve my problem of not being able to configure this in the right way. But does anybody have an objection or concern with moving it to Discord?
I don't think so. Maybe just ensure that we publish, I don't know, the channel or way to join in the
Right.
page.
Yes, absolutely.
I have on the community meetings page is where I usually keep the joining instructions. We'll change that once we make the change. Does that sound good, Nathaniel? You probably
Yeah.
could do that. And I think it's just instructions for joining the Discord channel. I don't know. Do you need to do anything special for an event?
So I just created an event for December 6th. There's the
Oh,
event
there it is.
link.
And there it is. I am definitely interested. I'm going to click the interested button. Cool.
Wow,
I don't
3
know if
people are
there's,
already
like, a
interested. That's
share-
fast.
Right? Oh, here, so you can actually do the whole, so there's a link from the sharing thing. So I'll, so. December 6th, you said?
I was just going based on memory. Is that, I believe that's,
No, I didn't look. I'm just asking if that's what.
yeah, that is what I said. Yeah, December 6th.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good.
3 months from now on the
So I
first
just
Wednesday.
copied the link out of the sharing thing and just dropped it in there.
Yep, that looks
Sounds
correct.
pretty good. Nice. Let's see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Do you want me to cancel the meeting invite that I have out here so that it shows up to everybody? And then I can put that link in there as well in the cancellation.
Sure.
I'm not
Well,
sure how many people actually see that, right?
Yeah, the other option is you can just remove the Teams link and just paste in the Discord link, and then would have,
better. That
although
would
the
be-
Discord link meeting would change every meeting because it's a new event. So,
Is there a way to do recurring events over there?
I didn't see a way to do that.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Well, let's play with it. If it needs to change, we can change it. But I think we can it's worth a try anyway.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So I will update the meeting link. You know, actually, another idea. I think you can just turn on a voice chat on the regular channel, right?
So there's text channels and voice channels.
Yeah, we could
So-
actually just go to the lounge or meeting room channel.
I mean, that's what the event is set up in that channel.
Oh, and the link will change? Are you sure? Did we just get oh, maybe not.
So if you're in Discord and you click on events in the top left, it says one event.
Yeah.
If you click on that, it highlights the lounge as where the
Right,
meeting or where the event takes place.
I see. I see. I was actually just toying with it to see if maybe I could get a permanent link to the lounge channel or whatever.
Ah, you should be able to do that.
That's what I was thinking.
Got it. Yeah, if you right click on the lounge, you can say copy link. And I think that,
Oh,
yeah, that goes directly to the channel.
oh, fun. Well, let me edit this and I'll just use that link instead. Yeah, okay, so this is just an event link, but that's the channel link.
Yep.
So let's sound better and I'll just use that one in various places.
Sounds good.
Sweet. All right. Sounds like we're doing pretty good, and unless there's anything else, I think we're good to wrap up. Anybody have anything else? Wait a minute, I thought I changed this. Okay. All right, well, thanks everybody. It's good to chat with you again, as always.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thanks,
All right,
everyone. Thanks,
you'll-
Sean.
Catch you all
Thank you.
later.